One is my Midheaven and your Midheaven, and the other is oxalates. And I am spraying some rose phyto. I keep this in the kitchen to just refresh. So I'm doing my Midheaven right now, and I'm doing this video because I need you guys. And it's company, it's community that we have here, it's sweetness, and it's also because I have my Midheaven in Gemini, and it is my legacy to use my words, to share things, to teach, to share things I'm excited about. Midheaven in Gemini means I will be remembered for my words. And your midheaven is who you are on the world stage, or who you are in public, or who your social, what your social presence is. And we need to do our midheavens because it's the fruit we bear to the world, the gifts we give to the world. And when we do so and we're giving, not only do you guys receive, but I receive. So when you do your midheaven, you feel fulfilled, and it just lifts you. So it makes sense that every time I do a video, I am uplifted. And so I have some major decisions to make, and I was like, what calms me? Prepping vegetables for dinner calms me. This candle has some soot. I have to blow it out. It will turn your walls dark. So that smells, hold on. So Gemini Midheaven is using the word, so it's important, and I made a video that you can look up what your Midheaven is. I show you how to look it up, and I made videos for each Midheaven, so you can, in fact, look yours up and know what you're supposed to be doing and how the world sees you. There's so many things that make up you in your natal chart and in your life, but who you are on the world stage, we will see you that way, so you might as well be aligned with it, because it stays constant. Hi, you guys. I'm using my iPad to film because my phone was out of charge, and I was like, I'm gonna be stubborn. Queen. I'm cooking up. I'm not cooking up. Occasion. People used to tell me that when I was little. Thank you. Yeah, I used to hear that. So, I am also, so now I'm doing my midheaven, you're going to find out yours, and I go through some loops and have some big decisions to make. So I'm like, what calms me down? Raw food calms me down. Now, I have been researching the whole oxalate thing, and oxalates are, how do I explain it? I don't know how to explain it very well, other than they're crystallized units in your body that can come from not carnivorous food. It comes from plants. It's the protective elements of the plants that end up in your body. Some plants have none, some plants have low, and some plants have very high, and spices and herbs and whatnot. And what happens is these oxalates, these little crystalline structures, they attach to calcium, to minerals in your body, and they can wreak havoc like kidney stones. So if you look up a low oxalate kidney stone diet, you will see if you are at risk or are developing kidney stones, then you would not want to have a lot of oxalates. And a number of years ago, this woman was like harassing me about my almond milk. And I now understand why. She was a little bit intense in her approach, and it was like, leave me with my almond milk, but I don't only have almond milk. I was making walnut milk and pumpkin seed milk. So it turns out almonds are high in oxalates. So people will recommend you go on a carnivore diet. I have no problem with what anybody else eats. I just can't imagine at this point in my life doing that. Like, I can't eat the meat. Could I eat fish? Yes. Could I have an egg or two? Maybe. Yeah. Why not? But I am plant-based at the moment. I have had the occasion of fish, and if I crave it, I would have it. But I know that lately I feel my best having raw food. So I was like, I'm going to do a low oxalate diet. And I will explain. I got a plant-based low oxalate diet cookbook. Now you have to be really careful because I have noticed in the past 3 days that I've been researching this that there is misinformation. And Sally Norton is a leading expert on a low oxalate diet, healing herself from all kinds of things. They say that it not only affects kidney stones, but autoimmune disorders, skin things, joint pain, arthritis. So if you are having any problems, consider looking into a low oxalate diet. And there's so many YouTube videos on it. So I was like, carnivore, can't do that. And I bought this book, which I no longer find credible. I just got it today. Plant-Based Low Oxalate Diet Cookbook by Ali Nagel, whatever, however you say her name. And I was reading, and I am sure that almonds are high in oxalates. I know that I have read that raspberry and blackberries are high in oxalates, and I've already seen that she has almonds and blackberries in her cookbook. So I probably will make a series of videos on low oxalate plant-based raw food. I know that lentils are high in oxalates, and she has lentil soup. So I'm like, she lost me. Plus she's eating oatmeal and white rice, which I don't want to. But A for effort in her, there's information and then there's misinformation. But basically, oxalate is a naturally occurring organic compound found in small amounts, and some high amounts in like rhubarb and spinach are off the hook in oxalates, and there's no excuses for not eating them because chard is too. So you can have kale, you can have arugula, you can have endive, you can have romaine, very low oxalates, but they're found in plants, fruits, vegetables, herbs, and grains. Now, this is not to make anybody scared or want to just eat nothing because everything's dangerous. This is more to just be aware and be mindful. So I was like, I eat a low oxalate diet. I never want spinach. I haven't been having almond milk except when I go to Cha-Cha Matcha for a matcha. And then I was like, matcha's high in oxalate. So I cut it out for 3 days and I was really tired. I added a teeny titch to something today. And oxalate levels in plant-based foods tend to vary widely. It depends on an individual's sensitivity. That can vary widely as well. So a low oxalate diet may be beneficial for some individuals to reduce the absorption of dietary oxalate and its potential effects on health. It's a lot. And you might get nervous if you start watching the videos, but basically this diet's becoming increasingly popular as a way to reduce health-related symptoms. Oxalates are natural substances, blah, blah, blah. They play an important biological role in the body. For example, they are chelators of metal ions. They form complexes with dietary minerals like calcium, and they play a role in the metabolism of carbohydrates and lipids. However, some people find that consuming high levels of oxalate can cause symptoms as nausea, fatigue, abdominal pain, and headaches. Like if you have pain in an area of your body, it could be due to oxalates. So you can look into it. I don't think Brussels sprouts are good either. Peas are good. So as far as the nuts, walnuts, okay, almonds not, peanuts not. Sunflower seeds are okay and pumpkin seeds are okay. So instead of having peanut butter or almond butter, I'm going to have sunflower butter and pumpkin seed butter. Here's the thing though, if you cut out oxalates altogether, you could experience what's called oxalate dumping, which is basically a detox where these little crystals, like if you look it up, they're like crystals, shards in your body, and when they start coming out through the kidney, eliminating, it can wreak havoc. So what I've heard is that if you start feeling an oxalate dumping, then have a little black tea or have a little matcha or have a little almond butter, because to detox too quickly is not the best ever. So this is just an awareness video where it's come into my consciousness again through my dear friend Terry, who has gone on a no oxalate diet. And we are going to do low. So romaine is safe. This is my baby. This is my baby romaine. Cauliflower is legit. Cabbage is legit. Broccoli is, arugula, endive, kale even. So I've heard, don't know about that one. Carrots have a little more, cucumbers have a little more, but that's okay. We're going low, not no. So now what? Tahini, not going to be using it so frequently. The things that I was having, I think that were the offenders in the oxalate department is matcha. You could have light green tea, and if you make your tea or you make your matcha or you make your black tea, make it light. I looked up nettle because I was like, oh no, I just ordered a big bag of nettle and I have a feeling there's oxalates, and I was correct. And I used to brew nettle for a long time and then heat it up again, and that will increase the amount of oxalates. So if you make your nettle 3 to 5 minutes, you got your nettle benefits, but you're not consuming a lot of oxalates. So are you guys with me on this? Is this like, oh, Libra season is for kidney support. Hey, Jen. I buttoned my top button on purpose for that very purpose. Yes, rhubarb and spinach are off the hook, and buonasera. They're anti-nutrients that get in the way of nutritional absorption because they act as a binder. So you put minerals in, put your shilajit in, the oxalates are going to bind to it, and it's not going to be absorbed in your body. Could leach your body, like bone mineral density and all kinds of things. Like look up the problems of having a high oxalate diet, and you too might want to join me in this. Thank you, Joshua. There should be a link. They made me an affiliate just because I kept posting about these glasses, but I don't care if I make any money. These are Caddis, Caddis. I care if I make money, of course. But this is just Caddis glasses. They're readers, and these are progressive, so I can see. When you stopped eating oxalates, hey, Kat, I had dumping syndrome and crystals were coming out of my upper arms. You actually saw them. That's amazing. Did you slow it down? Do you still do low oxalates? Of course you know about it, Kat. Callie likes my glasses too. Love you, Dara. I love you, Jen. So I'm on my iPad, so I wasn't going to wait for my phone to charge. And we are going to make dinner. I don't know about kimchi and sauerkraut. You guys can answer. But I'm going to use this gorgeous kimchi as the brightness in my salad. I have my bowl. I have my baby, romaine. And I'm definitely going to have cauliflower because it's a go. I feel like kale's a go and carrot may be a maybe. But not in excess. I found out that chia seeds are high, but flax seeds are not. These are the things that I'm interested in, right? If you ate meat, eggs, dairy, fish, poultry, no oxalates. You can just carry on with yourself. But if you are plant-based, then you got to pay attention. There is no documentation on durian, so I'm going to pretend that ignorance is bliss and not worry about it. But I have this feeling. Chia seeds. So if you're making smoothies with spinach and blackberries or raspberries, I know for sure raspberries have oxalates. I believe blackberries too. And you're using cacao, high in oxalates, and you are blending it all up with almond milk, you're on the road to a high oxalate city. Oxalate city is where you are headed. And it's not like you can just detox it without it coming out of your arms or your mouth or little white crystals. They're crystallized crystals. So if you have any, as we get older, we want to have beautiful fluid movement. And I have a feeling that oxalates are stiffening us up. If you have foot pain, joint pain, arthritis, whatever, you might want to look into this extravaganza, which at first could feel really depressing. But then also knowing that we can heal ourselves is the most uplifting thing in the world. So you know, and like you figure just be mindful. Like I was having like a couple matchas a day easy and really strong ones. I gotta wash this carrot. Hold on. So I don't know if there's a raw food, low oxalate situation, but we're going to be making those videos because I'm hyper aware at the moment. I know avocados are okay. I know coconut yogurt's okay, as far as I know. So don't quote me because I'm not an expert, but I was observing and listening and listening. And obviously I listened more than that other girl did because almonds are a no. They're a no. Olive oil is okay, so our dressing could be lemon juice, coconut yogurt, and olive oil and salt, and we're good. And cauliflower, kale, as far as I know. Well, one little piece of kale isn't gonna hurt, and lettuces are okay. Watercress, endive, arugula, have a party. You could put kale in your smoothie. You can put arugula in your smoothie. It'll make it a little bitter, but nobody's gonna die from a bitter flavor. We have to get used to things not being so sweet, I think. We have our apples. They're grown to be sweeter than they should be. Apples in olden days used to just be really tart and bitter, and you got so much benefit from them, and now we just get a lot of sugar. I'm not knocking apples. I love apples. I do love my apples. I'm gonna make the whole cauliflower. I'll go I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna go food shopping tomorrow. Her plant-based book was cooked, and I don't want cooked at all. I really just identify so much with eating vegetables. I love them so much. Even this avocado that's been sitting there in the refrigerator. Let's see if we can save it. If not, I will open a new one. So Sally Norton had, is that okay? Let's see. I don't know. When in doubt, leave it out. That's my theory. It looks kind of okay. It's a little bit, I don't want it. I don't want it. I want like fresh. And that's what I want. Let's see how this one's doing. So I didn't read all your comments because you're over there on my cute little iPad. And we got a winner. So that will come after. We're going to chop this little piece of kale. I think kale's fine. I have a feeling kale's fine. And if it's not, this one piece is fine. We don't want to do it all at once anyway. I did that for the past 3 days and I was like not feeling that great. My brain was foggy, so I'm sure I'm having an oxalate dump. It sounds so gross. I'm oxalate dumping. But you don't know if it's the caffeine withdrawal or the oxalates at this point. But there's no need to suffer, and you don't want to do it too quickly and too much. The woman who was like harassing me on YouTube or Instagram, she came at it kind of harsh. Like there's a little bit of an aggressive tone sometimes to people. And you guys know I love you no matter what you eat. I am only here to tell you what I'm excited about, what makes me like, what's capturing my interest. And if I hear something that could make me feel great, I'm going to play with it. I'm going to use it as like rules and a guideline. Okay, my guidelines was not to have a lot of sugar. I'm still doing that. My guideline is to lower the oxalates. Cool, what can I eat and how delicious can I make it? That's how I roll. Oh, Craig. Yes, you can buy dried herbs. Although I found nettle is high in oxalates, so you want to look up each herb. I'm still going to have nettle, maybe just not over brewed, cooked forever nettle like I was doing. I heard turmeric. She has turmeric. Turmeric is not good. Cinnamon has high oxalates. Ginger doesn't. So I've been having ginger and garlic, and I think, look at the baby. So it's going to be a simple diet, and I'm going to follow it You know, I don't like the word diet, but I'm gonna follow these guidelines and see how I feel. I think I was overdoing it with matcha anyway. And I always think that an angel comes to us at just the right time when we need it. White rice is okay, apparently. Isn't that amazing? I'd rather have white rice than meat. For me, you guys do what you want. It's a low carbohydrate situation, and it's certainly gluten-free. I don't think the carnivore plan has the gluten-free breads and stuff, although this plant-based lady has all kinds of things. But if you're eating almond crackers, almond bread, almond this, almond that, and spinach this and spinach that, then you might want to back off. There's other greens. You can add spirulina. Don't know about that, so I don't know. But like, you can add greens to your food and not have it be the oxalate situation. I don't think this is false though. Aw, Catherine, you're happy to be discussing oxalates. Teach away there while I'm not watching, because you probably are, I'm sure you are more knowledgeable. But I love Craig, Sun Food Organics, and Africa, naked for dinner. No, Cat, please carry on with, okay, raspberries. See, some of them cooked. So that's good. So raspberries cooked have less oxalates. I think even if you boil spinach, there's oxalates, right? Or is it okay? You added black tea with lemon. My friend who has been carnivore 120 days had terrible dumping syndrome. His kidneys were giving him grief. He is thankfully past that now. You want to back it up and slow it down. Hey, London, JJ, we have so many cool people. Ricky Bonnie. Africa, that's so fun. So this isn't, I'm not going to be suffering. I may not have my tahini, but I could put in a little sunflower butter if I needed it. I have my coconut yogurt. I have my olive oil. Kat, what about kimchi? I think garlic's fine and ginger. What do we think? I'm going to use the juice of the kimchi as my bright. And if it's not bright enough, I'll add lemon or vinegar. I love learning new things. And I love things that resonate with me, right? Like, I thought about the carnivore thing for a second. And I was like, I can't do it. I just can't do it. And I don't think I'm going to feel good. And they say that when you start it, you might not feel good. Like her friend, if you go all carnivore, it's not saying that maybe that the carnivore thing is bad. It's just you might go into, like, you'll have no oxalates and you might go into oxalate dumping and you'll feel crappy. So they don't want you to, the carnivore people don't want you to get turned off from it just because you don't feel well. Just like when I used to say, if you go plant-based, they said the exact same thing. It's not, oh, but it rumbles my tummy and makes me bloated and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm pretty much sure that the fiber is jostling around what was already in your body, and that's what's making you feel sick. So they're saying the same thing, except backwards. They're saying when you eat carnivore and then you don't feel well, it's because everything you ate before, which could be. It could be the oxalates. I don't pretend to know. I can only say what is appealing to me. And this is appealing to me. And this is low oxalates. How about garlic? I think it's fine. Just clean up your body. Exactly, JJ. Oh my God, I just got this jean jacket at this secondhand store on Main Street. It was like $19. And I debated getting it, so thank you so much. I have jean jackets, but none that were like short. Cabbage is okay. They say that be a carnivore, be whatever you need to be. Hey, Ellen, just clean up. Just eat mindfully. and organically. And look, we are one big experiment. You know, I feel like I need garlic and ginger. Unless somebody reports I shouldn't be having it before I put it in. And if I have it tonight, do you know how much garlic and ginger would have to come out of my body in the past couple months? I knew this was gonna make me feel better. I went into like I was foggy brained and I was like, I can't do anything admin that I need to do. I can't do anything other than have fun, and this is my fun with you guys. This is like, makes me feel good, knowing you guys are out there and we are communing. We are communing together. Is it bad when the garlic has green on the inside? It doesn't seem like it. What do you think? This is a what's good for our bodies. I can't think it's bad to keep those little crystals out of your body. Like, I just think, uh-oh. And I think it's like an underknown thing. I mean, if you think about, you know, what Sally Norton, she talks about how, you know, in medical school, they're not studying diet. They're stuck on old ways of being. And fat was the killer. I was watching a heart surgeon, and he's like, if fat were the killer and everybody reduced their fat, why are there still people on my operating table? Like, it's such a good point. I mean, they were making a point for carnivorism, but there are people who absolutely eat no vegetables. Like, ew, no, I'm not having it. And they say that the plants have protective chemical composition, that they don't want to be eaten by the bugs and the animals and whatnot. So those are the ones with the high oxalates that we are, or I am, going to be staying away from, because it made sense to me. But there's certain things that just didn't appeal to me anyway. I'm not a big Brussels sprout person. Never was. I never spinach unless it's cooked. I don't like raw spinach at all. At all. And almonds, they gotta be soaked. Clicking. Oh, thanks for all the thumbs up, you guys. I don't have gut issues. I only put 1 clove in, so we're fine. A whole lot of ginger. Cayenne pepper, they say, is a no-no, which I've been having spice. So I would say I have spice, I have matcha. I was having blackberries and raspberries, not every day, but I was having them. Durian's an unknown. I've been having durian, and that's not low sugar, and I'm sure of that, but it goes 1 little piece in my smoothie, my Purium smoothie, which Purium has to be looked at. I don't do the carrot or the beet Purium, so I think I'm good. Let's put in the avocado. Look how beautiful, you guys. Did I do the salt? I did. Did I do the olive oil? I think I did. Did I do sunflower butter? No, I didn't. I'm gonna put some in. Now the sunflower butter that I got has a little bit of maple sugar in it. And it's actually more sweet than I would want it to be. So I need to find another organic sunflower butter. And this one seems legit. I'll show you. It's it looks like, sometimes you buy sunflower butter and you're like, that looks like peanut butter. How processed was that? But this sunflower butter is legit. Like, it feels like sunflowers. It's 88 acres, simple and smooth, organic, nut-free, vegan, gluten-free, all good, with a hint of maple sugar, which is not terrible in the realm of things, but when you want no sugar, that's going to be a problem. Look, it looks like sunflowers, like if you made it yourself. I would like to find one that doesn't have the maple sugar, but we're going to do a touch of it tonight because it's oxalate friendly. More. And this is going to be really nice for tomorrow. So I will be prepared when I'm hungry. I had that, like, what do I eat? You know, when somebody goes raw, what do I eat? When somebody stops eating whatever they're used to eating, what do I eat? And there's so much information, and people are so almost violent about it. You know, don't eat this and don't eat that. And my approach is like, if you hear it and it resonates with you, that maybe that sounds right. Use your intuition. Your intuition. Not mine, not anybody else's. Like, and look at, although I look at the countenance, I always say look at the countenance of the person before you follow what they're eating. And Sally Norton seems not so happy. Ooh, that scared me. She seems a little bit mad. I think she's properly angry that she suffered so much from what she believes are oxalates. And it's been painful, and getting off of them and through them has been awful. And she's also mad because nobody taught this in medical school and nobody's teaching it. And a lot of people she's very lovely when she says there's misinformation, but I'd be like, dude, don't listen to everyone. She's getting out an important message, but her countenance is not like the fruitarians of old, which of course they were. Actually, some of them were aggressive. Remember Durian Rider and Freely? They were seriously aggressive, so you can't say all fruitarians are happy. But in general, when I was doing the whole fruit thing a couple of months ago, I was happy. Did it kick up my blood sugar level? Yes, it did. Oh, have a spoon. So now we have dinner. And if I wanted to, walnuts are okay. Pumpkin seeds can go on it. We're definitely not having, I think apricots are okay. I heard pineapple's okay from some, not from the other. Not sure about pineapple, but there's plenty of food to eat, plenty of veggies and fruits to eat that are okay. So I joined a Facebook group trying low oxalate living or something, and they had to accept me, so I have to look and see if they did. And then I think there's a plant-based subdivision. So I will be investigating for us all. And in the meantime, this is good. And if I wanted to, I think someone said quinoa was good, someone said quinoa was bad. Then I was watching this guy who was talking about it on YouTube, and then underneath he gave a list of okay things, and he put peanuts, and I was like, I'm pretty much, she said no. So it's really, I think Sally Norton is the expert. It's so good. So good. A little bit of the maple teeny bit of maple sugar just did a nice thing. How are we doing? Okay, let me read. Texas, you're a carnivore. That's cool. I said that already. I think cabbage fair. Sunflowers are high in omega, so you don't want to be eating spoonfuls, which I don't. I always just have a little sprinkle. That's good. I myself have a problem where I cannot control myself when I eat butters. Yeah, you gotta control yourself. Sometimes a little scoop. What I'll do is just take a little scoop of it and eat it, and put it away. Freeland and Durian Rider, I haven't heard their names in a while. They came to me with the aggressive fruitarians. That's what I thought of. Okay, we're going to go light on everything. We're not going to go crazy. Love, be love, be love. Is that be love? Is that how you say it? Love the jean jacket. So Texas for dinner is, I'll say what it is. It's romaine, cauliflower, cabbage, 1 piece of kale, 1 little carrot, and then the dressing is Coco June, Costa Rica olive oil. Use quality olive oil. You don't want rancid olive oil. You want quality fresh. Then I have my pink Himalayan salt in my little container. And I have avocado in here. And the brightness, instead of lemon or vinegar, I use the juice of my kimchi. So I'm going to get probiotics. I used a titch of the sunflower butter to be put away and not to be scooped into, unless in case of an oxalate dumping emergency, although that wouldn't slow it down. My peanut butter would. Peanut butter is like so wrong and so right. It tastes so right, but it's got aflatoxin usually. I get the Trader Joe's Valencia peanut butter, which supposedly has less. And then it's just got oxalates, and it's so good. That's like the one thing I'd be like, just a little bit. So not raw. So not. Okay, should we plate this? Do I? Total tech. All right. That could be very true. All right, let's plate this sucker. Do we want it in a little bowl, or am I gonna make? I'm not gonna. How did? Okay, Kat. What about gluten-free bread? I buy the most gorgeous gluten-free bread from Air One. What's the deal with that? I don't know, because I can't remember if the carnivores were like, don't eat the carbs, and then the plant-based people are like, eat the carbs. Should I have a slice of toast? I'm in a now what moment. I also need tea all day, but I have I've been having Tulsi rose tea, I've been having licorice tea, I've been having just not caffeinated teas. Licorice root is so sweet. That can't boost your glycemic. It's naturally sweet. It's so sweet. I'm gonna have some. I have licorice root that I bought, which is really fun to make. This is what licorice root looks like. I'm gonna have some of that. It makes me feel witchy when I make my brews. I might put a little nettle and a little licorice, because I don't want it to oxalate. Dump. It's so gross. Can't they just say detox? You don't need a lot of this. It's very, very strong. And I bought a big new bag from Sun Organics, Craig. Nettle, if Craig's still here. So, what else do we have? Oh. That's funny. I thought I was having my nettle, but I was actually having my moringa leaf. I got the bags confused. I wonder if anyone wants to look up moringa leaf as being, I'm gonna have some anyway, but it could have oxalates. I was like, oh no, I think the nettle does. Houston, we have a problem. Miso has a lot of oxalates. So it's just good to know. Tofu does, peas don't, lentils do. I think all of the alternative flours and milks have too many oxalates. That's what I figured. Oh, that's the other thing I was having. Remember I kept touting the beauty of Bam nut milk? I went to buy more and it's all out on Amazon. And then I was like, of course, it's a legume and they have oxalates. So depends on what's in the Erewhon bread. I was in Venice just 2 days ago, didn't have time. I've been under and in it. Would be so nice to hug you next time. I know, Erewhon's insane. I was in it for the past couple days. I've been admin Dara and doing sessions and doing admin stuff and doing sessions. It's been a show. Let's read the ingredients. How many people do you know that shut the, I had my refrigerator put on a switch because it's noisy. All right, here we go. Almond flour is the #1. But if it didn't have the almond flour, I used to make bread. I probably can make my own. I have my big dehydrator. It has almond flour and coconut flour. So if you skip the almond flour and use coconut flour, flax seeds, that's legit. I don't know about psyllium husks. Olive oil is fine, salt is fine, baking powder, apple cider vinegar. I heard poppy seeds have a lot of oxalates. But anyway, if we can recreate bread, a low oxalate bread with coconut flour, maybe dehydrated ground up pumpkin seeds, ground up sunflower seeds is like the flour. You know I love to figure these things out. When I went raw and there was no place to buy raw bread, there was hardly anything good gluten-free. You had to buy like Rudy's in the freezer. It was terrible. So I made bread with psyllium husk, zucchini, that's what I would add to this. And I did use fresh almond pulp from my almond milk, which I would substitute now. This is cool. So anyway, yeah, this is a no-no because it's almonds. Don't eat it. And the way I look at it now, you guys, you want to hear how I'm like phrasing it? I'm like, well, it's that or biting into flesh, which is what I consider meat. And I'm like, I can't do that. I'd much rather skip the almond bread than have to go on a carnivore diet right now. Although I think many people benefit, I have no problem with it. It's just me. I'm like, this is how I identify with myself for so long, for so many years. It would be like a mind bend. Can be done. It's actually good to reach and stretch and shift and not be so dogmatic. But at this moment, no. I'm a little upset with this girl, Allie. Like, does she know? Is this correct? That, am I correct in saying blackberries? She's got an oat. I guess oats are okay. I'm going to research this whole situation. Mangoes okay. Bananas okay. They're low. Bananas, that's exciting. Cucumbers were like, mushrooms are totally good. I was so excited to find that out so I can make like a mushroom burger. I'm going to do this. It just gives me like guidelines to be great. Like, okay, I can't do this, but I can do this, this, and this, and how can I make it delicious? I don't think lentils are a yes, gotta say. Unless wherever I read they were a no-no was misinformation. So there's legit sites. I don't know the exact one. I'll be sharing more over the next number of days. So the benefits of eating a low oxalate diet: reduced risk of kidney stones. That's a thing for sure. Reduced bone mineralization. Oxalate binds with calcium in the body, resulting in the excretion of calcium, thus reducing bone. I like her description. She's good at that. I got to give that to her. So maybe she's correct. Allie. Not sure yet. But resulting in the excretion of calcium, thus reducing bone mineralization when oxalate levels are too high. We want mineralization. Improved gut health. So we don't want our bone. Oh, she said, okay, so she's saying resulting. Oxalate binds with calcium in the body, resulting in the excretion of calcium, thus reducing bone mineralization. This is a confusing sentence. Improved gut health. High levels of oxalate can affect, I'm going to get some more information on that one. Improved gut health. High levels of oxalate can affect the absorption of certain micronutrients, leading to imbalances and irritation in the gastrointestinal tract. Another benefit is lower inflammation. Oxalates can be pro-inflammatory, leading to increased levels of inflammation in the body due to the production of free radicals. This one interests me. Reduced joint pain. Excess oxalate can accumulate in the joints. Those little crystals are going to be in your joints, leading to inflammation and joint pain. Relief from neurological symptoms. A buildup of oxalate in the brain, which may lead to neurological symptoms such as headaches, dizziness, and impaired concentration. It improves your mood. May improve your mood. We can't say. High oxalate consumption may contribute to an increased risk of mood disorders such as anxiety and depression. You know, I always think like we don't need gun control as much as, I'm not saying we don't need gun control and to monitor who gets them, but we don't need, we need mental health. I've always felt this through food. We need to monitor, we need to like help people who are eating poisons and it's affecting their mental health. Lower cancer risk, kidney and uterine, regulation of hormonal balance, autoimmunity. That's one I was listening about. Oxalate can cause damage to the gut and other organs, resulting in an overactive immune response. Weight loss. Eating a low oxalate diet can help reduce calorie and fat intake. Sure, because you're not eating any, you can't eat like all the stuff contributing to weight loss. A lot of times, like you go carnivore, you feel good because you're not eating like the gluten and the refined things. You go plant-based and you're not eating certain things. So, you know, you just gotta pick. But it says she has some nice recipes in here. It's such a cute little printed, she printed it, I'm sure it's like self-done. So it's cute. I'm gonna say the jury's out on the exact information being correct, but we'll go with it. Can I taste the difference between fresh bread and store-bought? Yes, my mom used to make fresh bread all the time. Just the smell alone. All right, contribute wherever you want to contribute, you guys, to help people out. But don't get scammed. There are scammers out there. All right, so we're gonna have some water. Thanks for hanging with me, you guys, because I needed this. This one was for me. I was like, I'm gonna go into a state of like trying to figure out what to do, and I'm like, no, you need to make a video. You need to make food. I'll never forget when I got this teapot, and I was a little dismayed that there's a little, I think the temperature gauge, because it reads the temperature, it has a little rubber thing on it. I was like, no, it said no plastic, and it looks rubber. And I was so disappointed. I was like, I opened it on camera, and I was like, should I send it back? And then our family member, Lon, was like, well, does it make you happy? And I'm like, it makes me really happy. This teapot makes me so happy. Beyond, it's ridiculous. I use it just for water. I use it for brewing teas. I get very happy. I could set it to a green tea setting, a black tea setting. I can brew. I can be my witchy poo self. There we go. There. All right, we did it. We're having moringa leaf. We don't know if there's oxalates in it. Sure does look pretty. Has lots of benefits. Let's play for dinner. Let's eat because I'm hungry, super hungry. I have a very, very big decision to make, and I just needed a break from thinking about it. I don't want to think about it. I really want those raisins, so I'm not going to have them. Not going to do it. Aren't you proud of me? I mean, when you think of what most people are eating out in the world, and I'm like sweating over a few raisins, or if durian has oxalates, it's kind of funny. This is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So, does anybody have any questions before I go? I do, Jessica. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you tell me. I'm 57. I'm going to be 58 in December. And I know that I look younger than many. But okay, Kat. Me too, you. So I don't know. I would think it does, but I don't know. Do you know like carnivores who are 58? you can compare. I do think it keeps your skin healthy. I just love it so much. Jessica James, I like that name. Jessica James. So I think it does. I think it does. I guess it depends, right? Like, what are you eating plant-based? What are you eating? What's your lifestyle? How's your stress? What are you doing? You could be plant-based and be having alcohol every night, or you could be plant-based and eating like potato chips, or you could be eating carnivore and eating beautifully. So I don't know. We're gonna have to, the jury's out on that one. I can only say from my vantage point that anytime I eat like this, I look younger and feel younger. Do I need to take my amino acids from Purium? Yes, they help. Am I going to be going low oxalate? Yes. You're welcome. I am at peace with this. I mean, I put it on for size, Jessica. I was like, should I be like eating meat? Like, am I wrong? Am I suffering and not knowing it? Maybe. I don't know. I don't have the answers. I just know that this makes me happy. And but I know people who have gone carnivore and all of a sudden their brain's functioning better and they feel better. Maybe it's just because they're having no oxalates and it doesn't have to do with meat or no meat. So let's see what happens when I seriously lower the oxalate content, and we'll see what happens. But I don't get any things, Botox or things. I don't even get facials. I do nothing. I put some oil on my face at night and a washcloth. Like, I'm so low maintenance, and I prefer it that way. So this is my beauty and skincare. That's my opinion, which could be open, subject to change. I don't want to be dogmatic. All right, you guys, big hugs. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out, and get your greens on if you're not fully carnivore. Get your low oxalate greens on. See you soon.